Welcome back, Riders. Today, we're talking One Piece again. Anyone who knows me knows that I love One Piece and pirates of the stretchy and Jack Sparrow variety so much. And if you're all cut up with the manga or the anime, you know all about the King of Beasts and the hijinks he's been up to in Wano country. It was an incredible, albeit very dragged out, arc, and now that it's over, I think everybody's really starting to dig in and analyze the narrative and the characters in it. Of course, not safe from this analysis is our main antagonist, Kaido. And I'm realizing I'm pretty motivated to make content based on the reactions I have to takes I see online. And I've seen a lot of takes saying that he's a one-dimensional villain or that he lacks a motivation. It's left me pretty confused, if I'm going to be honest. I think this shitpost I saw on our pirate folk is as good of an example as I need.
I am going to enslave this random island for no reason for a decade.
Sir, what about being a Yonko?
Never mind, I'm thinking 2 decades, actually.
Bruh. And I know I'm exposing myself by talking about Reddit posts in real life, much less an our pirate folk post, but my red flag shouldn't mean anything to you, dude. I'm not trying to date you. I don't love you. It's not that serious. All I want from you is for you to take 10 minutes out of your day, watch my little YouTube video, maybe hit a little bit subscribe button. That's it. It's not that serious. Chill out, relax. And the only thing better in life than my imaginary red flags are the real life pirate flags we all love so much. So I want to take a second and thank these real life pirates for sponsoring today's video. Shout out to the Houthi pirates in Yemen for sponsoring this video. These shrewd businessmen and famed One Piece fans reached out to pledge their support. And gotta tell you guys, I could not have been more excited because I've been following them since the prettiest pirate I have ever seen since Cavendish, Rashid Al-Haddad, did a live stream with Hassan. So when they reached out to sponsor my video, I was friggin' floored. This month and this month only, you can use the code FROMNOON on their website to take 20% off the fee to break your blockade in the Gulf of Aden for the vessel of your choosing. Cannot stress how good of a deal this is, guys. Take advantage of it while you can. You will never see these rates again. So again, thank you so much to the Houthis. Now let's stop talking about real pirates. Let's get back to the ones that are made up that we care so much about. That's a bad bit. It's a bad bit. Leave it in. Leave it in. It's funny. It gets the people going. When it comes to World's Strongest Beast, most of y'all are like, Kaido. More like, Kai don't think this guy is a really well-written character. Am I right? And Kaido's flashback, like his backstory, is certifiably disappointing and weirdly rushed in the midst of an arc that's so long that I know several couples that got together and got married and then divorced all from the time that it started. I kind of love Kaido as a character. I mean, I kind of think narratively he plays a really significant role that people don't talk about. And that's that what Kaido is the harbinger of Joy Boy. I think his motivations as a character are weirdly kind of beautiful, and he's the perfect narrative element to set up the final saga of One Piece that we're beginning to watch right now. So let's break down what that motivation actually is, and we'll start with a recap of Kaido's journey from birth to facing Joy Boy. We knew from the moment we saw Kaido that this dude was about to be a problem. From the moment that he came on screen, and I'm not talking when he went kapoot from the Sky Island, I'm saying when we see like the youngest version of Kaido, dude's a brawler. Dude's a brawler, and he was an absolute beast at the service of the Smirnoff Kingdom. He did some work for the Vodka Boys, he got drafted by the Marines and escaped for the first time, then he met Edward Newgate and Charlotte Linlin and eventually joined the Rocks Pirates, and then at the God Valley incident, he got a little magical fruit, his crew got bodied, and he went on to form his own crew. Eventually, he was held on Punk Hazard, shout out Momonosuke, real one, which is where he met King, who became the first recruit of the Beast Pirates. While King obviously respected Kaido, it was about more than strength. More than just a respect for power, these two shared a belief in the legend of Joy Boy and his return. And it's even deeper than just being like king of the pirates. Kaido thought of himself as the reincarnation of Joy Boy and that he was going to be the one to change the world. I mean, he says so much in chapter 1035 where he says that only he himself can be the one to change the world. But something happened that showed Kaido that he wasn't Joy Boy. We can speculate about what it was that happened, but it was confirmed that he knows he's waiting for Joy Boy and that it's not him when he says, "Looks like you couldn't be Joy Boy either," after defeating Luffy the second time in chapter 1013. And I think it's pretty clear that ever since Kaido knew he couldn't be Joy Boy, he began to search for someone who could be the Legend of Liberation. At some point, specifically sometime after Oden had left, Kaido and his crew arrived in Wano. The exact impetus for why they went to Wano is lost on us, but I think there's a reasonable explanation, albeit one with a few assumptions. It's clear from later dialogue that Kaido knows that Joy Boy is prophesied to open the borders of Wano. He may not know all the details, but he knows that Joy Boy is going to be the one to liberate Wano country. He could have learned this during his time with the Rocks Pirates, or from King, or maybe he read the TCB scans instead of waiting for the Viz release, but in chapter 972, when Oden tells Wano that Joy Boy would come to Wano, Kaido doesn't react at all, almost as if he already knows that information. Which leads me to believe that Kaido knows there's a prophecy around Joy Boy liberating Wano and opening its borders, or at the very least that Joy Boy is connected to the opening of Wano. And I realize that this entire characterization is built off the assumptions that Kaido realized he wasn't Joy Boy, and that Joy Boy was going to be the one who liberates Wano. But narratively, both of these are implied so heavily that I don't think it's a whole gum pistol of a stretch to make these assumptions. And, with these assumptions, to me, this is what makes him such a great antagonist, and even more than that, an incredible character. Kaido was obsessed with Joy Boy for his entire life. If not him, the strongest creature in the world, then who? When he realized that he wasn't Joy Boy, he spent the rest of his life ensuring that he would meet the Man of Legend. He believed that he himself was the strongest person on Earth, and that he knew Joy Boy would come to Wano to liberate it. So the only way to ensure that he got to see and test the strength of Joy Boy was to make himself the obstacle that the legend would have to overcome. And in a time of so many One Piece fans complaining about the implications that Luffy is the chosen one, this kind of reverse of the Oedipus narrative of self-fulfilling prophecy, where we have an antagonist who chooses to insert themselves into the prophecy, it's so refreshing, and honestly it's something I've never seen in literature before. Kaido purposefully made himself the barrier in the protagonist's story because of a combination of his own hubris and his own grief. When we see Kaido drowning himself in the drink and trying to kill himself, it's not really all that serious. Because we know if he really wanted to die, he could just jump in the sea. But Kaido is really living a very sad life at the point we see him. I mean, imagine that. You are the strongest person in the world, certifiably unkillable, and you know that you are not strong enough to change the world around you. So to have an antagonist who conceptualizes all of that and then uses the rest of their life to create a checkpoint for the protagonist saying, if you want to change the world, you've got to go through me. I mean, that's incredible writing. That's one of the best antagonist motivations I've ever seen. So incredible. It's honestly a little redeeming for Kaido as a character as well. I'm not saying I justify everything he did in Wano, but damn, that's good shit. I actually think the more that I think about this, it's a testament to the fact that Oda kind of fumbled the bag on this, because he definitely I know that I'm grasping at straws a little bit on a few assumptions here, but Oda definitely laid the narrative that I think everything that I'm saying is 100% correct for who Kaido is, but Oda didn't do a really good job of weaving this together in an impactful way. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. There's a chance that he does, but this what I'm saying right now should have been said way better than how I'm saying it, and it should have been said in the story itself, I think. I mean, think about this. This is a guy who's taken over a country he doesn't really give a shit about. He's gonna live his life to the bitter end because there might be an off chance that this legendary liberation guy who hasn't existed for almost 1,000 years and barely anyone even knows exists is gonna come and whoop his ass. He knows, like, Kaido knows that he himself is an absolute unit, and he knows that he doesn't even have the power to change the world he lives in. So all he can do is sit around and wait until some random goofy ass drum dude is gonna come kick his teeth in? That's crazy. This guy's motivation is, honestly, it's sad. It's so sad. I mean, what could he do? What would you do? Kaido waited. He waited to see why this person could be Joy Boy, and he couldn't. All he could do was go to the one place he knew Joy Boy would eventually liberate. Wano.